Last week, Frank said you had an option of, in breaking route or go deep. He said you probably were going to want to go deep. Is that fair? And tell us about that.
That's accurate. Frank kind of went into the headset and he said, "Hey, trust what you see. You can go this or you can go that." And I just trusted Alec. He's so good on those kind of routes, and I think a lot of times in those situations, throwing the ball past the sticks, being aggressive, taking a shot is huge. You can't play scared in those situations, and I thought it was a great call, great route, and just tried to give him a chance and a really good play by him.
There wasn't any thought of being non-aggressive on that third down play. I mean, you were going to take something deep or get the first down.
If you have the look, if you get the look you're looking for, don't hesitate. Let it go. Try and give him a chance to make a play. We had some other options, on that play. Had coverage been different, but you got to trust what you see and you got to go for it.
Trust the player. Trust Pierce.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's our receiving core, our tight ends, our young backs having to play, a lot today, and it, not really being the run game, trusting them in the pass game. I'm not sure how many yards Dion had, but he had a lot, and he played extremely tough, was huge for us catching the ball out of the backfield. Paris played well. Tight ends played well. Colin had a couple big catches for us, which were huge, and Pitt, I think he had like 13 catches or something like that. Yeah, so, I mean, that's huge, and that's the player he is. We trust all those guys. I'm proud of the guys. It's an important win, in division, at home. We've got another one next week on the road. We've got to continue to build on that.
How much did the progression, what they did in the previous 57 dropbacks, influence the ability to be aggressive on that one day, Alec?
To their credit, they kind of mixed it up, throughout the game. Different pressures, different looks in the back end, some man-to-man coverage, a lot of zone coverage. So it was just trust what you see, more so than anything. You could get a variety of different things in that situation. And we had a good play call for some other options that we could have gotten. But I thought it was, good timing for the one we had.
When have you seen time you threw 58 times?
I don't. I don't.
61 times in 2013.
2013. That was a long time ago. I don't remember stuff. I honestly, I don't remember, stuff like that. But
you bypassed Dan Marino today. What does that mean to you?
I'm proud of that. I've gotten to know Dan since I got into the league back in 2008, and I love him. He's a fun guy to be around. He was like the ultimate guy when I was growing up. He would sling it, And I remember the first time I met him, he's like, "Hey, no matter what happens, man, keep slinging it, And I was like 23 at the time. I'm like, "Oh, that's one of the coolest things I've ever heard." And somehow, some way, here I am, 37, and still remember him saying that to me about 15 years ago. And I'm, anytime you're mentioned in the same breath as Dan, it's pretty cool, and I'm proud of that.
What do you think the no-huddle did for you guys today?
I thought it was good. It was a good change of pace for us. I thought we played with good tempo, used the speed when we needed it, but also were able to check out of some things and get into some looks that we wanted to get into. I thought Frank did a great job calling it today. I thought we had a good plan coming in, and we'll see what we do with it moving forward. But I thought it was effective for us today.
How much credit does because Frank doesn't take it when you guys win? How much credit does he get for building the game plan today and getting the offense going? I know you guys have been working at it.
Yeah, I give Frank. He's a great coach. I've been around for a long time, and the respect that he has in our locker room, the way he motivates guys. There's a feeling, as a new player coming in, how it was interesting for me to see how quickly I saw how much the guys respect how Frank goes about day to day and what he means to the players and how he treats the guys, pushing them, but showing them a level of respect. And I think that comes from him being a player himself and playing for an awesome coach in Marv Levy for such a long time. But he's special, and he did a great job with the game plan today. Our whole offensive staff, Marcus Brady, Parks Frazier, Scott Milanovic, Strauss up front, our Scotty Montgomery in the backfield, having young guys going. I think our staff deserves a lot of credit.
You mentioned earlier trusting Alec in those situations, but I mean, it's only the 6th game of his career, though. So how did he go about earning that? And other than just making plays, obviously, but just is there more to it?
Well, making the plays helps. That certainly helps when you see guys being productive. But it's the little things. It's for a young player, the way he shows up every day, the way he works. You can trust him. There's just a feeling you get knowing he's well prepared. He's done everything he can to have himself ready for the adjustments that he has to make. But he's also, awesome in practice. He goes after it. He works really hard in practice. And I think Pitt has done a great job as a leader, kind of setting the tone for what those guys are expected to do. And I think Alec, as a young player, smartly has looked up to that and said, okay, this is what I need to do. And for me, in addition to the production, his level of preparation, the way he goes into the building every day, earns my respect.
You've been saying,
You were asked about the game winner a minute ago, but Frank basically said he gave you an option, and if you had press on Alec, you were like, I want to throw it. Just walk me through that situation. And I mean, 3rd and 1, you've got it at field goal range, but it's still a long one. So what were you guys thinking?
Yeah, thinking go in the game. When you get that look. I was saying earlier too, we had stuff on the other side. If we had kind of a different look of something we might want to work that we still felt could have been productive, maybe giving us a good chance to get into a spot where we could feel better about it. But we got the look we wanted, and I really think in those situations, you got to trust your instincts, trust your gut, trust your guys, and try and go win the game. And I'm proud of Alec for making that play.
you've been saying, if we could just play clean and play, execute. Is that what today was? No sacks?
Yeah, it's amazing. We weren't perfect by any stretch, and again, I'll say it. There's things we can improve on for sure. But not putting our team in tough positions with turnovers. Trying to at least play for the most part in front of the sticks. There's still some drives I think we could have done better on that, but we overcame a lot too. We made a lot of plays on 2nd and long, on 3rd and long to keep drives going. But I thought, for the most part, it was cleaner. Our offensive line, it's not easy. I give those guys a lot of credit. It's not easy to drop back and pass the ball that many times and hold up like they did. And I know, every lineman I've ever played with, wants to run the ball. We've got to, you just hear it all the time. And those guys today, it was they gutted up, and went out there and fought. And I thought they did a great job. And I think like Dennis Kelly coming in for us, he did a great job. That's a veteran guy who's prepared, ready to go. I got to give him a shout out. He played his ass off.
What kind of impact did Paris Campbell make today?
Paris was huge. He was huge. He's got a knack when he's got the ball in his hands of making guys miss, getting extra yards, and you can see his confidence continuing to grow. I know he's had kind of a tough road here throughout his career, overcoming injury and having to battle through that. And he's another guy I see as one of the guys whose confidence, you can just feel it when you're around him. It's continuing to grow, and his belief is continuing to grow. And I thought he had a huge impact on the game for us today.